Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Etheria restart video. So in today's video, guys, I wanted to talk about Yeli, which is the current LD summon banner we have up. And I was just going to make this video in case somebody pulled her, got lucky, or wanted to gamble and see if she's worth building. So long story short, if you pulled her, she is very good. But I don't think she's useful until you put at least 4 gold lattices in her. And then I don't think she becomes very, very strong until you have about 8 in her. And then she doesn't get cracked until you have about 12. So if you are only interested in the PvE side, I don't think you need to pull for her. I think Didding does her job fine. She might do it a little bit better when she's fully leveled because her stats are, higher and things like that. And she has a chance to kind of chain off where Didding is very straightforward, right? And we'll talk about what I mean with that. So that's the long story short. But if you did pull her, you can pair her with Didding, which is really fun. And she's really great in PvP, especially if you want to scale up the ladder and fight like the mega whales that are running like Bloodbath and things like that. You'll most likely need her. So let's do a quick discussion, and then I'll show you a video of her in Terramaton Inferno, and we'll just showcase her in Arena a little bit and how hard she nukes. So her skill 1, 200% multiplier, and she has a chance to steal a buff. Now, the nice thing is this is what she follows up her attack with. If anyone has read her kit, whenever she crits, she has a 100% chance of following up with her basic ability, and she can actually do that over and over again. But the second time that happens, her percentage chance goes down from 100 to 60%. And this is what she's doing her follow-up attack with. So you can increase the multiplier of this up to 240, which is pretty high. And you have a 30% chance to steal a buff. This is also pretty important considering most of the places that you'll use her, like Terramaton, like Aurora, like Nico Nana Inferno, like Sharon Inferno, they all put up relevant buffs. So if you get this up to 30%, you can steal those buffs, which end up being quite handy. So that's that. Now, this is the skill that I was saying that if you don't have 4 lattices, I really don't think you should use her. Because if this isn't 100%, then you are just rolling the dice every single time you play with her, and I just don't think that's right. So what this says is when she crits, she has a 100% chance when it's fully leveled to use her skill 1, and she can do that again. But it goes down from 100% chance down to 60% each time, but I've seen this chain off like 4 or 5 times in a row. So then her skill 3, she gives herself a crit rate up buff for 2 turns. However, the way she's coded is this kind of puts it on before she attacks, and then it doesn't count as a turn. It's kind of weird. So the crit rate up is up the entire time. So you only need to build her with 70% crit rate. So the multiplier is 120%, and then once it's fully leveled, it's on a 3-turn cooldown, and she has the chance of putting defense down on the enemy. So this is a very hard-hitting ability, and like I said, you can kind of chain multiple times into the skill 1 after using the skill 3, so it could out-damage Didding if you're lucky, and then most of the time it's kind of on par with what Didding's doing consistently. So because she has a triple hitter, I am using her on Revelation. And the nice thing about Revelation here is whenever you do your follow-up attacks too with your skill 1, Revelation is still proccing. So you could proc Revelation up to like I said, 8 or 9 times. So I've got the attack percentage speed in this slot. I'm actually debating on changing this to maybe crit rate, because right now I have to have a crit rate piece on the right side of my gear, which I don't like. I'd much rather have attack percentage or crit damage there because it's really limiting my damage, but that's what I have for now. And then she also has a very good roll on the final damage for light units. I've got her on Fury Kenai, which isn't bad. However, if you want to utilize like the high damage quick burst teams in PvE or even PvP, Kenai and Harvest is best, I think, in this slot. But for longer drawn out fights, Kenai Fury works fine. So I'm using 12 Kenai Matrix and 8 on the Fury Matrix. Here I told you I've got the crit rate core on the right, and all these pieces aren't really great. Like crit rate, crit damage as one substat. I don't have any speed or crit rate or crit damage here. I have a little bit of attack percentage and speed, but no crit rate. A little bit of crit rate and speed, crit rate, crit damage, which is okay. And then this piece is, pretty good. So yeah, that's what I'm running her in. And like I said, here's kind of a run of her on Terramaton. This is a much faster run than what I was showing you guys the other day with like Fangus and things like that. But is it truly worth it? Because you got to sink 8 lattices into her? Probably not. But I did want to showcase her because it's still pretty cool, and her damage is good, especially if you pulled her. So we've got the Holden in there to strip and also put the res down, which gives her an increased chance of landing the defense down. So you'll see like the damage there is quite good, and the Revelation procced on all 3 hits, and then the follow-up attack on his skill 1, on her skill 1. So yeah, that's basically what this is. It's just this team tanking, and I showed this team yesterday, but with Fangus instead of Yeli. So if you guys want to know, what gear they're in and all of those things, that's what we're rocking there. So we're just utilizing Mia to reduce the cooldown of Yelli so Revelation can proc more and more, keeping the team topped up and healthy. Same thing with Valerian with the shields, Kachi for the immunity and defense up, because we don't want the heal block or the defense down to land from the Terramaton. And each time Revelation procs like this, you just do a lot of damage. So we're also getting unlucky with Revelation only proccing once, but we'll just zoom ahead here. It's the same thing kind of over and over. And then eventually we get enough Revelation procs where Yelli does enough damage, and we'll take him down to almost nothing. And then the next time we go, we'll end up killing him with our Yelli. So yeah, like I said, she can be utilized in Aurora as well. Like you sub her out for a Shiata or a Rosa, she's just your main damage dealer. In the Inferno stages where you see a lot of the Didding teams, you can just use her as well. You can also use her alongside Didding. So all of that stuff is pretty good. But yeah, so she's a strong unit. But overall, if you're like 95% of the player base, you probably don't need her because, as I mentioned, Didding just does the job almost exactly the same. Now, where she's a little bit better is in Arena. This is where I utilize her. Like in the higher stages, I can't really beat some of these tank teams. And I also get outsped by a good chunk of these teams, like this Mio or whatever. Like I am trying to do content and just farm PvE right now before I even try to get into PvP. So what I end up doing is basically just go after teams on the lowest totem pole here so I can farm up the arena tokens and cash out the shop. But because we do have a team like this, this is actually a decent showcase. So some of the higher up teams are utilizing Valerian to stop cleave, right? Because she will save somebody from death. The nice thing with Yelli is she kind of just pushes right through that. So pretty interesting that she can do it. And I'll just show you how we do this here. So we go in with our Tsukiyomi. We buff our Yelli. And then whoever the main threat is, in this case, it's Rosa. We're going to target Rosa. And if Yelli doesn't end up killing Rosa or kills her once and then Valerian saves her because she's in her hazy dream, we get the follow-up attack, and we finish her off anyway. So we'll see big damage. We honestly might just wipe this team. Okay, so Rosa saved, but then you have the follow-up attack, and then she dies. So it's the same kind of concept, in the higher stages, but it's a lot harder to do, and my Yelli would not compete. If you're going up against these teams that have, like, Bloodbath, they're using Viper to reduce crit damage, all of those things, it gets out of control. So, but the higher up players are utilizing Yelli to get through some of that stuff. Like, she can contend on the top side, but that's for 5% of the player base. So same thing here, another Valerian on their side. Their main damage dealer over here is Romoka. So same kind of concept. You just go after their main damage dealer so they don't ever get a turn. Oh, I didn't get to target her. Okay, but it targeted Romoka anyway. So that's good. So yeah, I mean, she's very straightforward. If I were to compare her to anybody, she's just like Messiah or Didding. Messiah, he might even be better in PvP. I don't know. Like, he ignores 70% of defense, but with Bloodbath, maybe not. It's just hard to tell. I'm not super familiar with the meta in PvP. All I know is it's super tanky and stally, and whenever you have those additional attacks, it's quite good. The thing with Bloodbath, though, is once you take enough damage, everything else is reduced by like 55%, and the follow-up attacks also get reduced. So it's like minor chip damage. Most of the damage is going to come from Revelation anyway. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what I got, guys. I wanted to show her. I don't get too excited about the LDs because I think, not that they're brain dead or anything, it's just they're very super overpowered. So I don't get excited about crafting with them or anything like that, but I know they're quite good, and it's exciting to pull them. So I wanted to show this video off just a little bit, just in case you showed her or pulled her, or if you want to pull for her. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. So I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.